hello everyone. Welcome to Shergroup on the sofa. I hope wherever you are in the world today, you're in a good place. So today I'm super excited to be joined by my guest, Loryn, from my BNI chapter, BNI County Line Connections. And yeah, she's a travel agent extraordinaire. So we're going to have a great conversation with Loryn this morning. Before we do that, I always give a little shout out to our #1 fan. So, hey Ross, how are you today? I think Loryn's got a little shout out.
Hi Ross.
So we're both in Orlando today, and you're over in the UK, of course. All right, so Loryn, no, I love the hat. So good.
Good morning.
So, I just, this is going to be such a fun interview because I love travel. And you know that because I'm always putting on your Facebook page. What is your Facebook page? Because you've got a great Facebook page.
It is Cococations, actually, which is the name of my personal business.
Yeah.
So Cococations, like vacation, but my last name is Coco.
I will put that in the show notes so you get some more followers to your Facebook page, because she posts some amazing places that you wouldn't necessarily think about going on vacation. So it's a great place to get some ideas. So we met through BNI, and you are our social events coordinator. We're waiting for you to take us on a BNI cruise. We keep talking about that, don't we, with our chapter members? It's going to be such fun.
Yes, and I actually am looking at planning that, so it's looking good.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. And I mean, when you joined the group, I think there was some sort of, you know, do we still need travel agents, and how does that work today? So, I mean, in this day and age of technology, why do you think we all need a travel agent like you?
Well, we're vitally important to navigating the world that is travel these days. You know, you never know what you want until you really dig down and investigate it yourself. So we ask pertinent questions of you, because you can come to me and you can say, look, I want to plan a cruise. I've never been on a cruise before. You know, give me some options. Well, there's 350 different cruise ships out there all around the world. So how do I know which one is the best for you? How do you know which one is the best for you? So we really dig down and we fine tune your needs and your wants and your desires, so that you eventually, you know, have the perfect for you.
Yes, and I've seen you do that with a number of members. And today, in today's meeting, you were saying that you booked a couple of trips to Antarctica for people.
I actually just did. So I booked one gentleman on a solo trip because his wife said that she didn't want to go to the cold. And then I booked another couple just this past week because the company was having a 2-for-1 sale. So 2 people going down to Antarctica for $12,000.
Right.
As opposed to the one guy paid $12,000 for himself. So
wow, that's a big saving if you're going together. And what a fascinating, I mean, I wouldn't say, it doesn't strike me as a vacation, but everybody's different. It doesn't strike me as a vacation destination, but for some people, they're just going to get completely enthralled with the scenery and the nature, and just, you know, being close to that kind of magnificence. It's truly amazing. So yeah, I wouldn't know.
Well,
yeah.
It's a bucket list item for a lot of people too.
Yeah, of course
so,
yeah.
You know, people want to tick off all 7 continents. And it's definitely the least explored. It's the least visited. And this ship that they're taking down there is actually a yacht. Wow. So, you know, you can't go wrong when you're in luxury going down to Antarctica.
No, I love it. I didn't know that was possible. I think that's very cool. Okay, so Antarctica is a bucket list item. Now, your company that you work for is Expedia Cruises, which when I first met you, I thought, oh, she's a travel agent that does cruises. And you said there were 350 ships, which is fantastic in itself. But you are so much more than that, girl. You do, you know, any kind of trip at all. So, I mean, you know, obviously you do go way beyond cruises. I mean, what is your, you know, your brief? I mean, in terms of what you will handle for people. in terms of?
Well, I mean, we're travel agents, so we can do it all. Even though our name says Expedia Cruises, it can tend to be a little misleading to some people. But you know, anything that you can do on Expedia.com, which is actually our parent company, we handle here plus more. So anything that you can dream up as far as a vacation is concerned, we can definitely, you know, deliver on that request. So, you know, if you call Expedia.com or if you go to Expedia.com and you're trying to book something and you encounter an issue, there's an 800 number up there in the corner. You call the 800 number and you get your local Expedia Cruise center.
Oh,
and so
okay.
you are physically talking to travel agents. You're not talking to somebody over in, you know, a third world country somewhere that can maybe help you navigate the technicalities. You actually get a travel agent that will take you from start to finish and beyond in the travel planning process.
That's good to know. That's good to know. And you know, being part of the whole Expedia brand is huge, right? I mean, that just gives you such a big space in which to go and plan all these lovely vacations. So that's fantastic.
Yes.
Now, of course, the travel industry has been hit like many industries, but you know, we all enjoyed travel up until sort of the spring of 2020, and then our lives all got turned upside down, didn't they, by COVID? So,
Yes.
you know, what's it like navigating COVID policies these days in the travel world?
It's pretty difficult, I would say. There's every different country has restrictions and protocols that they follow. So, you know, here in the United States, luckily we've dropped a lot of our COVID protocols. You don't have to test anymore to get back into the States if you're a US citizen, which is really good. But, you know, if you want to travel, I have a client in a couple of weeks that's going down to Peru and he's not vaccinated. So I had to go into, you know, Peru's travel site, look up the requirements for him. He's got to have a COVID test, you know, and then we talk about travel insurance because travel insurance is incredibly important these days, especially with COVID. You know, you pay all this money for a trip and then you test positive for COVID and you can't go. So that's where your travel insurance would kick in, and it's vital. So we help you navigate all those policies and procedures and protocols and make sure that you have the best experience possible.
Yeah, that's very sage advice about the travel insurance for sure. And again, I guess that's, you know, that's a great function of yours, you know, great added value for your customers that you are able to navigate all these COVID, because I mean, I've traveled during COVID between the States and the UK and it was complicated. So if I'd have had somebody
Not
to
easy.
sort that out, yeah, it's some really good added
Yes.
value. But of course, you're spending time, you're helping your clients, your customers, you know, book their vacations. I mean, is there a cost to using you, or do these vacations cost more because you're involved? What do you say to that?
There's no cost to use a travel agent. That's what I say.
Great.
It's a common misconception with people that, oh, I'm going to pay more to use a travel agent. I don't want to do that. I'm going to save my money and I'm going to go to Expedia.com and I'm going to do it myself. But you don't know all the ins and outs, the nuances that are involved in planning trips. But we can also get you better deals out there that may not be available to the general public, but Expedia has access to, being Expedia. So where we get our income from is from the travel, you know, destinations and the companies that we use, because it's like a thank you. In a referral business like BNI, we understand the thank you for closed business. So we send people on Royal Caribbean cruises or to AMR Resort Collection or Sandals, and they are paying us as their thank you to get us to send more business.
So
that's how it works.
Team. Yeah, you're the sales team.
Yes, so it works that way. You're not paying any more to use a travel agent, but we're fundamentally important when it comes to planning your vacation.
Yeah, I think that's good to talk about that and just demystify that so that everybody's super clear that using Loryn's services. And I know from looking at your website that you have some amazing deals on cruises for folks out of well, certainly Florida, and I expect other cruise destination ports as well. But I have been amazed at the pricing of cruises. So when we book our next cruise, then I'll be coming to you for sure. That's a done deal. Cruising, I love cruising. I loved it when my kids were little. I could put them in kids club in Disney and they were gone and they had a whale of a time.
Bye-bye.
Was a bit more, but they enjoyed it. They tell me they enjoy it. They still enjoy cruising now. So, but now they like to hang out with us. So it's expensive. But you've just come back from Sandals, haven't you, in the Caribbean? I think that's right.
Yes, in Grenada. It's amazing.
Yeah. Now is Grenada in the Caribbean?
It is. It's actually the furthest south island in the West Indies, only about 100 miles north of the coast of Venezuela.
That's what you were telling me. So
yes.
Now you went to an all-inclusive. You've obviously done cruising. You know, what's the pros and cons, do you think? Would you recommend one or the other?
So it all depends on the experience that you want to have. The benefit of being on a cruise is that you get on board the ship, you unpack your luggage one time, and it's like a moving hotel. So the ship takes you from place to place to place. You can, you know, depending on the length of your cruise, you can go anywhere from 2 ports up to 20, or they have world cruises that are 274 days long.
Whoa.
So the beauty of that is that, again, it's a traveling hotel. Yes. Traveling hotel, and you get to see and experience a lot. If you are looking for something that's a bit more relaxing, where you just want to unplug from the world, knowing that, you know, these days life is hectic and things get crazy and life gets crazy, especially for a couple's vacation, I say go to an all-inclusive. Because there you unpack, you have this beautiful room in this wonderful location. All of your drinks are included, all of your food is included, and it is 5-star top notch. You can drink from sun up to sundown and beyond if you so choose. You have mini bars in your room, you can have room service at any time. And then you just walk out and go just relax, meet new people, there's entertainment. So an all-inclusive is what I call a cruise on land, but better. So yeah, I prefer all-inclusives just because of the relaxation factor. But I do like to go out and experience, and you can do that as well. You can book excursions at all-inclusives and go around and just really visit the island that you're in to get to know about that one particular location.
And when you say all drinks are inclusive, are we talking alcoholic drinks or are we talking soft drinks?
Cheers.
Not that we're advocating alcohol, but it does.
No, not by any means.
To a holiday.
Yes, and don't worry, it's a Starbucks energy drink, but I'm all about the visuals.
You're all about the optics. It looks great. You look like you're going on vacation. Honestly, you don't look like you're at work. Which is fantastic.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, so you know, as Jimmy Buffett says.
He does. Margaritaville.
Yes.
Okay, so if a family wants to go on a reunion or a dance group wants to do a member cruise, how many cabins do they need to book, and what are the mechanics of that? Because there may be people that want to do that, right? So how does that work?
Right. So group cruises, big business. It is very lucrative to do a group cruise because then as a family, you kind of have control of everybody on the ship. Base room cabin amount to have a group and get the benefits of being a group is 8 cabins. So 8 cabins will get you extra perks on the ship that you can, say you can give everybody in the group a $25 onboard credit that they can use for the spa, you know, if they go to the shops, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
You can get tote bags and towels delivered to their rooms, or you can have cocktail parties and special private events just for your group on board the ship.
Wonderful. That's
Yes,
wonderful.
there's definitely benefits to it. Multi-generational trips are becoming a big thing, especially now that COVID has passed and people are itching to get out there and experience the world again. So if you have a family reunion and you typically go to a hotel in a city, think about doing it on a cruise ship where everybody can really have a good time. They do have shorter itineraries, so 3 and 4 nights, or you can go 7, 14 days, however long you want to go. But doing a group is definitely beneficial. And you can also plan group excursions just for your group.
Great. I might be talking to you about that because my daughter's getting married next year and I'm interested in what a wedding cruise might look like. So I need to talk to you about that in terms of, do you get
Yes.
people getting married and booking cruises, you know, to have their wedding offshore, or,
Yes.
beach wedding, and yeah.
Either that or all-inclusive destinations. So Sandals, Secrets, those are adult only all-inclusives, but they do have family-friendly ones if you will have smaller children that would come.
Yeah.
And those are a great way to, again, have a destination wedding in a fabulous location and have everybody kind of, you know, mingling around and doing things together. And then the couple can go off on their own. So there's a lot of benefits to that too.
Yeah. So weddings, family reunions, trips for
girls trips,
guys trips,
bachelor party. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. I love it. That sounds fantastic. So I mean, one thing that I haven't really done, and I've traveled a lot, but I haven't really done a guided tour. But I see the benefit of it because you know, we were talking about Italy, and I really want to go to Italy. My husband's got no interest at all in going to Italy. I want to go and see the Tower of Pisa. That's what I really want to go and see. It's on my bucket list. So, I mean, you know, what do you think about guided tours? I mean, for single people, married people, but the other half doesn't want to go, or just generally, what do you say about guided tours? Think they're a good option for people?
Guided tours are the perfect way to experience a new location for the first time. Right. It's very immersive. It's smaller, so a little bit more private. There are several different companies that we work with that provide group tours through Monogram, Cosmos. So those are group tours you can get on with other people from around the world.
Yeah.
And it's an immersive experience, but you really get to know the history and the culture of the area that you're visiting. But there's also companies that we can work with, and say your family wants to go and do an immersion of Italy. We work with tour guides that will do private tours just for you and your family, curated around the country. They will take you to the separate locations. They will stay with you every step of the way, provide not only the history, but also, you know, talking to the locals. They can communicate with them like we can't.
Yeah.
And really give you that personalized, immersive experience in that location. So those guided tours are getting more and more popular. Yeah. Because people are looking for something that's unique and different, and they don't want to be on the cruise ship with 5,000 other people. No,
I think that's a great explanation. And what about, I mean, do you find there's a lot of guided tours across the States, or is it generally, or is there a bit of both? Is it outside the States and inside? And the States is such a vast country, isn't it, you know, to cover off. Are you finding people doing more guided tours here?
Well, most of our customers are Americans, so they're not going to want guided tours of America, but that's definitely something that we can find and locate and put you in touch with the right people. There are, you know, tour companies and stuff like that that will do those tours. And there's also river cruises here in America that you can take. So you can go up and down the Mississippi River and learn all about that, as well as over another popular area is up through the Great Lakes. And then you can also do the Snake River out in Washington, Oregon area.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic. And of course, this little show gets watched by lots of Brits who, again, if they wanted to travel to the States, because it is so vast and they want to go and exploring, you know, they've done Florida and they want to sort of reach out into sort of the lesser known parts of America, then you're a great person for them to connect with. So I'll be sending those people your way when I get those requests for where can I vacation in America other than Florida. So that's great. And
yes, I would recommend the West.
Yes, the west of the country. So river cruises you mentioned, and also we were talking about expedition cruises. Now, are they on old ships? What have they got? They got sails and masts? What are they? Expedition ships?
No, some people, if you're versed in the cruise industry, some of your older lines that would run the expeditions, say to Antarctica, the Galapagos, up through the Arctic Circle, those were kind of more cargo ship type of vessels,
Right?
that they would you know, run these trips on. But these days, you're getting more and more into high-end luxury experiences. So celebrity, I don't know if anyone is familiar with Celebrity Cruises, but they are kind of an upstep from Royal Caribbean. They run a fantastic ship called the Flora out to the Galapagos Islands. They do have some ships that go down to Antarctica as well and up in the north. So the smaller, more personalized, you're not going to get 3,000 and 4,000 people in these cruises because you just don't have the draw yet. Those locations are harder to get to. They're a little bit more remote, so they're not as popular, but you have the option of doing it in some pretty luxurious accommodations. So you know, clients are gravitating to that because as the baby boomers are starting to retire and they have quite a nest egg of you know, disposable funds, they're the ones that are really pulling in that type of unique experience. You know, Ritz-Carlton is coming out with a fleet of yachts. So if that tells you anything, if you stayed at Ritz-Carlton before, they have a fleet of yachts that they are using, not, you know, in those extreme locations, but throughout the Caribbean, they'll be sailing in the Mediterranean as well. So you really can experience those locations in pure luxury. Marble bathrooms, L'Occitane bath amenities, you know, drinks all included, 5-star gourmet dining. You know, it's there if you want to take it.
I know. I've had a little taste of that on Disney Cruise Line. I've been lucky enough to do that. I was just thinking back as you were talking to when I was in my early 20s and a student, and I did a car ferry from Piraeus in Greece down to Alexandria in Egypt, and got the train down to Luxor and went to see the pyramids because that was on my bucket list. That was a pretty long time ago, and I ran out of clean clothes, so the only thing I had to ride a horse across the desert was a pair of pajamas. So I was riding across the desert in a pair of pajamas. So it just brought it all back to me, Loryn. You're talking about luxury, and I was thinking, you know, but these bucket list things, I mean,
what was I thinking?
Oh, well, you know, would I do that same trip today? Maybe not. I tell my kids that, they can't believe it. Like I rode a horse, first of all. But I think these bucket list trips, I've got another friend who went to the Galapagos and it blew his mind. His wife that was one on their bucket list. And you know, you and everybody else have their own personal bucket list. And what I think you do is a fantastic job in connecting people and making those bucket list dreams a reality. And
Absolutely.
just so many fabulous places to go on the planet. And I've been lucky enough to go to, some of them myself, and I highly recommend it. And I love the idea of being able to work with you on our next big trip. I think it will be fantastic, and it will take a lot of stress off me, because I'm running my own business, and I don't want all the details. I don't want to go on the website
Yes.
and look at Expedia and then figure out, did I book the right flight? And I want someone to do it.
And you bring up the stress that's related to planning a trip, and it really is.
Yeah.
When you think about all the logistics that go into planning a vacation, it's not just booking the hotel and yay, we're there. You have the logistics of the flight and timing the flight, and then how are you going to get from the airport to your destination? If you're taking a multi-country trip, like we have one of our members in Ireland right now, and I worked with him and booked hotel rooms for the entire journey, and then his flights and the rental car to take him from place to place. So it really is stressful when you think about it. And if you are working full-time, or if you have family with little kids, it can really take the joy out of the experience. So that's why it's good to have a travel agent, because we can just wrap it up in a bow and send you on your way.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, again, some of the things that perhaps were only available to the super rich, private tours, yachts, it seems to me that they're becoming more accessible for people on, as you said, have a nest egg, or I've got to a good place in life and want to splash out on a nice trip. But they're not super rich by any means, they're just ordinary folk. What do you say about that in terms of these sort of high-end items being available for people?
This too could be yours. That's what I say to that. We companies that we work with, that you can rent a private yacht and sail through the islands of Tahiti or the Seychelles, or even down in the Caribbean. Just you and your partner, your family can go along with you. And it's cheaper than you would think, but again, you get a more personalized experience. And sailing on small private yachts gets you to locations that the cruise ships won't, because they can't get those big giant ships into some of the islands, especially down in the Caribbean. So you get to kind of customize your trip and go off a beaten path and make it your own. And so it's easily attainable. Working with a travel agent, we can put you, in the vacation of your dreams that you only thought that Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro could have back in the day.
Which
is easily attainable.
I love that. I love that idea. I love that idea. Well, and what's on your bucket list, Loryn? Where do you want to go next? I mean, you travel for a living, but what's you clearly love it. So what would you like to do on your bucket list?
One location I would say is the South Pacific. I want to go over to one of those overwater bungalows in Bora Bora, just be able to have the glass in my floor and to look down and see fish, and then be able to right off of the edge into the water. That was my retirement dream when I got my financial planner several years ago. He asked what my ultimate retirement thing would be, and I was like, that for a week, I want to go to Bora Bora. So if anybody's seen Couples Retreat out there, the movie with Vince Vaughn, and they go to the island and have that really intense trains at the Four Seasons in Bora Bora. So it's definitely one of my buckets.
There you go. I know, I didn't even think about Bora Bora, but yeah, I can understand why you're saying that. So thanks so much, Loryn. That's a great insight into what you do and how you do it, and how accessible you make these fantastic destinations for everybody. So if you're watching this, in the show notes, we'll have all Loryn's contact details and her socials, so that you can reach out to her and book that trip. If you are watching this from Britain and you want to travel to the States and you want a cruise expert and take you out to the Caribbean, I would encourage you to speak to Loryn, as well as your domestic travel agent, or not just booking it from the UK, but talk to Loryn, because she has some fantastic deals that you might not see from where you are elsewhere on the planet. So don't think just because she's in Florida that they're kind of like not available to you. She's available to you anywhere in the world. So make sure you make good use of her. All right. Well, thank you so much, Loryn.
As long as I have a good Wi-Fi connection, I can work.
Yeah, exactly. That's the fantastic thing, isn't it, about working remotely? We can all work anywhere and still run our businesses and still connect with great people. And BNI does connect us through our chapter network with some amazing people, nearly 300,000 people in BNI now, 10,000 plus chapters. And we are certainly enjoying building our chapter here in Florida and bringing, great people into our chapter and getting them to share what they do and how they can basically help you, the listener, in your business life and your family life. So that's it for today. Thanks everyone for staying with us through. She's going to get dressed up. Yeah, I'm wondering if there's a vodka in there. Staying with us for the episode with my good friend Loryn, and check us out on www.shergroup.com. We've got tons of stuff going on our platform all the time, lots and lots of business services to help you, the business owner, have a better quality of life and less stressful life, which is why I wanted Loryn on here today, because look at that, she's at work and she's still on vacation. So I just think that's a great way to run your business. What a great business to be in. Check us out on all our socials. Shergroup is everywhere. We're on LinkedIn. We'd love to hear from you. Comment on this show. Subscribe. Please press the subscribe button and join our community on YouTube. We're having a growing community and we look forward to seeing you next time. Loryn, thank you so much. Great interview. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Claire. Shout out to Ross again. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, bye, Rossi. Thanks a lot, Loryn. Bye-bye.